Hi everybody, it's Lynn from Lynn's Crafts Designs. Today, let's make an open bezel from polymer clay so that we can add some UV resin to the center. I've just got a 3/4 inch circle cutter. It can be whatever shape you want, actually. Could be a square, could be a heart. I thought about doing both. But a 3/4 inch circle cutter, only because I don't know where my inch one is. So it would be an inch. And this is just some scrap clay. Any scrap clay would work. We're going to put some mica powder on top, so any scrap clay would work. A darker color would make it show up better, but not necessarily necessary. Alright, let's get started. Based on a piece I did years ago, I want to make a bezel that we can put UV resin in out of polymer clay. And I'm not just going to push it in a mold or something like that. I'm going to actually make a polymer clay bezel. A simple one. Okay. I roll this down pretty thin. Alright, that's pretty good. Now, let's start. I'm going to start where the seam is on the cutter. I'm going to make that where the seam is on the bezel. Alright. So, this is a 3/4 inch cutter, by the way. I don't know where my inch one is. Lost amongst the craft supplies. Okay, craft knife. I'm going to cut it straight because the other end is straight. And I'm going to butt them up. Okay. Let's see. How big will this make it? Alright. Just going to use the end of my craft knife handle. Alright. Okay. Stick everywhere but where I want you to. Okay. Now that is probably going to be the bottom. Let's cut this in half. Okay. If I could grab it, just gonna take my metal knitting needle and help it make a little contact there. I really hope y'all can see the camera angle and what I'm doing is not the best combination. Okay, there is the bottom. Alright. Okay, now I'm going to roll another log out that same size. Y'all don't need to see me do that. I'll be right back. Okay, I went ahead and put this top loop on just because I had to hold it up where I could see whether it was directly across from the bottom or not. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Okay, I just cut that off about halfway. I want to try to make the top quite distinguishable from the bottom. Okay. Now we can just get the other side close to the same. Gotta look at that a minute. Why isn't that sticking down? I'm going to put a drop of Bacon Bond literally right there where that join is. We can put a little bit of decoration later. Just to help that stick. Okay. Cut a bit of that off, actually. And then try it again. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Now we're going to just take this little tiny little piece we've got right here, and I'm just going to pinch off a tiny bit and roll a ball. Okay. Now, right up here at the top, where I put that little bit of bacon bond, okay, I'm going to mash that ball flat. I'm going to do another one down here at the bottom. Now you don't need the bacon bond because it is raw clay against raw clay. I put the bacon bond there because it was to add a bit of clay where there wasn't any clay. Okay. Okay, I put 3 right there. Okay, and I'll put 3 at the top. Same way. Okay, I put 2 more balls right inside there for a little extra detail and to use up the log that we rolled out. Now, I'll bake this in the oven 275. It'll just be 30 minutes. It's okay to leave the cutter in there. It's metal, won't do any harm. Okay, so I'll bake this and we'll be back. Changed my mind a bit. We're going to go ahead and remove this cutter. There we go. Just gently wiggling it back and forth, holding different parts of the bezel down that we're trying to move. Alright, this is just one of the no-name mica powders came from Amazon. Just a, you know, it was like a set of 50 or something. I put them in the jars even. Alright. My finger with a short fingernail. I'm showing y'all this because I know a lot more polymer clayers have mica powder than have like the Prima waxes and stuff. Now you could of course use just acrylic paint. You could just dry brush acrylic paint. Okay, but as you can see, I'm just going over the surface. Not trying to go behind the scenes and get any of the back detail. That's what's going to give it that antique feel. That it's got that black with the silver sheen. Alright, oh, that's really pretty. Alright, now I will bake this. You could do a lot more detail, but I'm just going simple this time just to show you the idea. Bake this 275 for 30 minutes. I added a few of the glass hot fix rhinestones. Now I did put Bacon Bond first. Okay. Now let's see how well this stuck together. Okay, that did a pretty good job. But what I want to do is I want to go over the whole design with a layer of UV resin. Now this doesn't set straight, so I'm probably going to do it with this is the UV top coat. And my flashlight, my UV flashlight. So, you got a silicone tool for any mistakes we might make. Now, I did just fill this up with my BS resin. Okay, it was empty. Didn't just fill it up, but just recently. Okay. Screwing the lid back on. Just give it a little time under the UV flashlight. Okay, now, can you see that? I'm just going to continue all the way around, hitting especially where the clay meets. Okay? And I'll be back. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought I'd come by real quick and show you, if I can, up close, what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to cure that and I'll be back. Okay, now, you're probably asking yourself, why didn't we just leave it stuck down to the glass? If you put UV resin on the glass, it's harder to get off. This is some resin tape. For my scissors. Okay, it's made to be non-stick on resin. That can be taken with a grain of salt. I always turn the end back because I don't want to be stuck looking for that. Oh my goodness. Alright. I don't really care about whether those are on the tape. There. Now, after I stick to the UV resin, I put my glasses on. I'm just gonna put a thin layer on the bottom. Alright. Let me look. Now, let me look. Okay, there. Now I think I got it all the way around and all the bubbles out. I'm going to cure this. I'll be back. Okay, now you could go ahead and remove it from the tape right now, but I like the fact that it's stuck down and won't move, so. Okay, for the second layer, Bit of UV resin. Okay, now, hear me when I say this. This is the interference red, which is from Alumilite. Same as any interference red mica powder. Pearl X has one. I know all of the resin companies that put out mica powders also have some. Alright, this is just my silicone tool. You can see I have put a tiny bit on my brush, on my tip. Okay, and I'm gonna swirl it in. And literally, that is it. That tiny bit on my brush. On my, whatever you call it. Okay, same thing with my glamour dust. So much so. Okay, I'm gonna watch it in the bottle coming down. I don't know if you can even see that. It's a tiny bit. Oh yeah, okay. That's what we want. Okay, put those away. Don't add any more. Alright. Worked a couple of bubbles in there, I can see. Alright. Now, it should be sealed so that we won't have any leaks. Patience, tummy. Okay, put my glasses on. Yeah, that's something right there. It was already in my cup, evidently. Piece of glitter. Okay, that ought to be it. Okay, now I'm gonna cure this under the nail light. Okay, and if I don't say this every time, I do it 4 minutes, and I will put the cup in there too. Okay, I'll be back. My light is behind me just because I don't have enough plugs near my desk to put it where you can see it. So it's behind me. Okay, now just a last doming layer. Sorry if you can see my head. Getting the light to shine through and see with this tape on the back is a little more difficult. Okay. Sorry about that, but it does take a steady hand and probably knowing when to stop, which I don't. I'm going to put this under the light and I'll be back one more time. Okay, now I did already unstick it from the glass just because I did flip it over and cure it from the back. Alright. 4 minutes per layer. I know that this is really and truly cured. The BS resin, I've said before, I got this off of Amazon. It was one of the highest recommended, so if everybody else is wrong, so am I, but I love it. Okay. Now, let's carefully... Okay, it's not stuck to the polymer clay frame too hard. Okay. When you get to the resin off the back, and I'm serious, go slow, especially if you're working with something like this is a polymer clay frame and it's really fragile. Worked. Let me get something where we can see. I know I always just grab this, but it's just a silhouette. It was actually from a silhouette scraper. Alright. Let's see. You see the little bit. Oh, yes. That little bit of red iridescence. I don't know how well y'all can see it. Okay, but we're just calling this a Seers stone. A Seers pendant. Yeah. Okay. A little wrinkly on the back. We could put another doming layer on the back if we chose. And we could dome the surface just a tiny bit more if we wanted to. But I'm liking it. Really pretty. Alright. Let's make a hanger to hang it from a necklace. And let's find a little charm.
The day I die.
Here they are. Our 2 seeing stones. This one, I decided not to put a charm. I just put a glass beads. And I put a glass bead at the top. Just to give it a little movement. Okay. Now, against the black, you can see a lot more. That iridescent red. It's really pretty. Okay. And then this one. Okay, it just has the glitter. And the heart from the midnight mix that we did before. Okay, a little butterfly charm. Alright. Now, I've got an Amazon shop. And in the Amazon shop, I have a set of iridescent powders. Now, they're not the Illuminate ones, but you can go to Illuminate and get those yourself. But they're just as good. The iridescent powders, I'm not sure about the Hot Fix rhinestones. I'll check on that. The glass beads, now I did get these electroplate ones off of eBay, eBay a few years back. The charms, they're listed in my Amazon shop as well. I've got a polymer clay list and a resin list. The BS resin is listed there. Of course, the polymer clay is listed in the polymer clay list. But again, I don't suggest you buy your polymer clay through Amazon. Buy it from a reputable online polymer clay seller. They're going to have the freshest clay because they have a rapid turnaround. I'll list Blueberry Beads down in the comments. I am not affiliated with them at all, but I find I won't say the best, because that would just be rude, but they have Cernet, they have Primo, they have all the major brands that not all the stores carry. UV resin, polymer clay. I think I covered everything. The cords. I probably got those from Amazon, which would mean they're listed in my Amazon shop. The links for everything else will be listed below. Just open the description box and you'll find what you need. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Like all the videos you watch, everybody. Give me a subscription too. Subscribe. Bye for now.